Hello, everyone. Welcome to our next POMA Insight session. My name is Michelle Scheuermann, former past president of POMA. Greetings to you all. Thank you for being here. With me today, we have special guest, Justin Morrissey of National Shooting Sports Foundation. Welcome, Justin. And of course, Rob, our esteemed executive director. Gentlemen, welcome to today's session. I'm letting the participants in. Participants, if you want to ask questions, you can raise a hand. You can drop it in the Q&A at the very bottom of your webinar screen. You can chat. If you do want to chat, just make sure you drop that pull down box to say everyone, because it defaults to like host and panelists. So I don't know why. But anyway, many options. You can even come on screen and ask questions if you want. So many options. But today we were talking about the POMA annual meeting, June 23rd to 25th at Ohio's Maumee Bay Lodge. Did I pronounce that right, Rob? Maumee?
Oh, it's like mommy.
Maumee. I guess
Yes.
it's not like mommy. Maumee.
Right.
Okay.
That's exactly right. Mommy State Park Lodge is
All
what
right.
it
Well, tell us about this fabulous facility, because I'm guessing you had something to do with this, because this is kind of in your area, right?
it is. So, for those who don't know, I live about a half an hour east of Columbus, Ohio, which is dead in the middle of the state. So, Maumee Bay is the bay on Lake Erie where the Maumee River lets out into Lake Erie right there by Toledo. And they've got a really nice state park there, Maumee State Park. That it just sits right on the lake. This is basically lakeside property, right at the walleye capital of the world. So I just thought when we were planning this conference, this would be the optimal place for people who, like fishing. And then as we talk about this, you're going to find out that there's just a lot of gun stuff that goes on in that part of the state also. So it just seemed like a great fit.
Best of both worlds. Yeah, well,
Yes.
speaking of the gun stuff, Justin is here today from National Shooting Sports Foundation, and you are sponsoring this thing called a range experience. So, first of all, you got to get off mute because you're on mute. But, so tell us, what is the range experience? What's going on? What are you doing?
Yeah, so the range experience is the typical range day that we've had at the POMA meetings, except it's way better. Instead of it being more of just like a obligatory thing that we have to host among everything else during a POMA meeting, we're actually treating this as an entirely separate, not entirely separate, but a separate event where there's going to be the POMA annual meeting and the range experience, and they are happening at the same time in the same proximity, all of that. Except NSSF with our sponsorship, we're the presenting sponsor. We are just we're working with the civilian marksmanship program.
Oh,
It's at Camp Perry, and the event is going to be more centered around the experiences of the shooting sports, and self-protection and anything else that you can do with firearms. So we're going to have a really good time. I'm sure it's going to be an entertaining event, and there's going to be a lot of storytelling opportunities at the range. It's not going to be as product. There will be products there, but it's not going to be like the sole focus
okay. I was going to ask you what
products.
was different, because like in the past, it was all about the guns, the ammo, the product, the ears protection. But
Yep.
this, you're calling it the range experience because you want it to be more about the actual experience of shooting
Correct.
XYZ guns and ammo. Okay.
Yes. Yep. So it's going to be, I mean, Camp Perry's range, it's a big range. We've got one really cool element of it actually, that's off of the range that kind of leads into the range experience is Mark Oliva from NSSF. He's the managing director of public affairs, and Stephen Gutowski with the Reload. They're going to be there to do a media training, like a firearms in media training. It's like a 101 course.
Mhm.
We're going to be inviting some local media from Ohio, and then also try to bring in some folks who maybe specialize in fishing or other areas of the outdoors, and really give them a full look at firearms reporting and how we can do better with it, and just lead better conversations. And then they're going to go from that out onto the range, and do a introductory d- I guess, yeah, introductory type uh, display of just firearms in general, like 9mm, 22,
Okay.
AR-15, and so on. So
And it's a good content development, I'm assuming, opportunity too, right? For people who do
yes.
that.
Yeah, so it's very much so there's that Firearms 101 course. That is just like one thing going on among the live fire range
Okay.
happening all day. So the range experience will start at 10 a.m. It'll go until 4, I believe, or 4, yeah, I believe like 4. Um, the range will be hot all day. There will be vendors out there. There will be shooting sports organizations out there that have like Action Pistol for you to
Nice.
try out. CMP is going to have service rifle and 10-meter air rifle, which is indoors. We're going to have the precision rifle series there, doing more long range shooting. And we're bringing on more experiences still. We're hoping to have about 6 there among all the vendors displaying their products, which it's pretty cool. Usually vendors have some cool things to do too with their products. So
This kind of reminds me of POMA camps back in the day, right? Because that was the whole point of POMA camps, was to have an experience with the product that
Right.
there was offering, but now it's just with guns.
yep.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's always been that product element, but then like the use cases for the firearms, like I
Yeah,
get so centered around like the technical aspects of the products and the firearms, and like it gets very promotional when
yeah.
you really can't explain the use cases for them or integrate those parts of the stories into the reporting on them, or like even product reviews. So that's kind of the point of this, is to really get get our hands dirty, get hands on at the range, and really learn about the shooting sports and what we can encourage people to do with the products that they purchase.
And that's day one, right, Rob? So
That's
like
right.
people are coming in on Sunday, people should come in on Sunday, June 22nd,
Yes,
because things kick off right away, early Monday morning. Yeah, you got to get on the bus and you got to get out there.
Oh
that's
yeah.
So,
right. That's right. And this thing is really developing so good, so cool. So, this thing started with a conversation with me and Justin where I called him up and I asked him if he would sponsor range day. And Justin said, I think we're interested, but we want to do something more. We want to do something different that's really experiential, right? And so, you see something like the range experience and you say to yourself, like, is this just like a rebrand? No, it's something different. It's more. But I also want to assure like the brands that are with us, oh, we're still all about the brands, but we want people to get their hands dirty, as Justin said, and really get into the experience itself of the different shooting disciplines that we're going to
oh, yeah.
have. So I'm
I mean,
excited in the
they're out there
facility
for like
itself.
5 hours, right? Like
Yeah,
6 hours, they're out there, immersed with your product. Like, as a brand, why would you not be excited?
Yeah.
yeah,
We
yeah.
have I can tell you that the NSSF team, we have our entire media department going to shoot content,
Oh,
organizations, and to, really just utilize the whole day. Because the other aspect of it is there's the range experience on the first day, and then the second day we also have the indoor range aspect with Lake Erie Arms and that field trip, the breakout sessions there and everything.
okay. So what is that? I'm seeing that buses depart for Lake Erie Arms Content Creation Day.
Yeah, I got to tell you a little story about that one because this is so cool
Right
and
now.
it blew us away. So Justin flew in to Detroit. That's the nearest major airport to Maumee Bay is Detroit. It's about an hour and 15 minutes from Maumee. Uh, and I drove up. And one of our hosts is there are two convention and visitors bureaus involved in this conference. The lodge is over at by Destination Toledo's territory. And then the other is called Shores and Islands, Ohio, and they have all the towns that are along the northern coast of Ohio, right there on the lake. And so our guy who was our host for a lot of our site visit, he took us over to Camp Perry and over to Lake Erie Arms. He had been all over me. Are you guys going to visit Lake Erie Arms? Are you guys going to visit Lake Erie Arms? And I'm looking at the map, but it seems kind of far. And I was really just not really wanting to do it. But I told Justin, he really wants us to visit this. Do you mind? So Justin said no. So we pull in the parking lot of this indoor facility, and at first we're like, wow, this is a pretty big building. Well, you get in there, and this is one of the most extraordinary shooting facilities I've ever seen.
Okay, that's
So yeah,
odd.
so he's got the typical ranges that a lot of indoor shooting places have, but he's also got uh, this entire clay bird shooting facility inside. You can shoot sporting clays, five stand, crap and skeet. You can shoot in the dark. They've got this whole glow in the dark module that you can shoot clay birds in
Awesome.
this thing. It was really just something fun, and they have the whole place set up like a country club. And so they've got people who are members who have lockers, fireproof safes full of guns, their own. You come over during your lunch hour, you shoot around of sporting clays. They've got a cafe you can eat at. I mean, they're living large, right? And then
Lockers
these,
like with gun safes for long rifles,
yes,
Yeah,
obviously, because they're shooting sporting clays. I mean,
yeah, just
it's it's
incredible.
it's a big room. Like imagine a locker room that it's gun safes instead of lockers.
That's right.
It's no joke. It's that.
wild.
It's
Yes.
I don't even remember how many gun safes were in that room, but it was pretty impressive.
So this
Oh
is
my
great. So
gosh.
this is content creation at its finest because
Yeah,
who would go to this place normally, right? If you're not in that vicinity, like,
right. So, and like even their pistol and rifle ranges, they got it set up to where you can play games, not just hitting a flat target, but they've got oh, I'm drawing a giant blank. What is it when the target goes out like this and then all of a sudden it flips and you can shoot and then it goes back again and forth,
oh yeah,
like
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
action shooting. Gosh,
yeah.
Rob. Uh, so they got action shooting in there, and then they've installed this incredible lead reclamation system in there. Justin and I got this tour, and the amount of detail that's in this place is really just extraordinary.
Well, and it's
So
great they came to you, right? Like they want us there. They want
yeah,
Poma.
they do. So we have lunch. They have two restaurants there. They've got this cafe where everybody can go, and then they've got this pretty nice restaurant where the like country club membership guys can go. And so they gave us lunch in there while we talked it over. And we explained that we were envisioning content creation day for that day, but it couldn't just all be about Lake Erie Arms, right? Well, he's got meeting rooms in there that'll hold like 50 people each. And so we've got other content creative sessions that are going to be there while we're there.
That's
And
awesome.
it's a giant round robin day. So you're going to get to see it all while you're there.
So
Plus, you're
you
going to
can
get
pop
to shoot.
into a meeting room, learn something, and then go pop out and shoot some clays, and then pop into another.
Yep. And we're just going to rotate station to station. So, you'll be in a meeting room for one session.
Yeah,
I know that we're going to have uh, oh gosh, shooting in the dark with Kevin Reese.
of course, with
He's doing
Cellmark.
Low light.
yes, with Cellmark is
Yeah.
doing a session on thermals. Uh, and so we got two meeting rooms going, plus the different shooting areas in the tour. I think in terms of pure red meat, this content creation day is really going to be something.
That's awesome. Worth the price of admission right there. And then you come back, there's a dinner and an auction, of course, of course. Campfire hangouts at night. I love it. And the next day, then are you fishing the next day? Is that the deal on
Yeah, so
Wednesday?
yeah, so Wednesday is field trip day. And
Okay.
you can't take people to the walleye capital of the world and not offer them a chance to go out for walleye. So one of the field trips is, of course, going out on Lake Erie walleye fishing. But here's my
That bus
message to
departs at
everyone.
5:30 a.m. I would
Yeah,
be on that bus.
yeah, you're gonna want to get out there. They're limiting out right now. I mean, it's just picture after picture. People are getting out there and slaying them.
Mm,
Of course, no guarantee the fish got to cooperate, but
yeah.
right now they're at historic highs in their hatches that are as good as they were back in the 80s when they gave it that name, Walleye Capital. Uh, but I would just say this to people: limited space. So you better register if you want to go walleye fishing. You better register because those will fill up. I would say right now, people signing up, 75% of them are putting walleye down for their field trip choice.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
Of
Yeah.
course. Because the next ones you're going to a fish hatchery, fly fishing. And then another one is Marblehead Marina for Kelly's Island. What's that about?
So, first, the fish hatchery. Castelia Fish Hatchery is the largest fish hatchery in Ohio. It produces trout. They've got trout streams all around it. We're bringing out fly fishing instructors. And so those who are not on the walleye fishing boat, they'll be able to do some fly fishing after they get a tour of the hatchery itself. So I think that'll be a really neat one. And then Kelly's Island you asked about. So,
Yeah.
you got a number of islands that are just off the shore. And Kelly's, uh, folks who choose that one, they're going to get to take a ferry boat over there. And they've got this thing over there called the glaciated grooves. And it's basically a spot where you can see where the glacier went right through there and it carved these incredible rock formations right through the island. It's really extraordinary.
Hmm.
And there's some other treats there on that island as well, but that's the main attraction point. There's some Native American history there with some ancient writings. Uh, so, this one's not a fishing and hunting trip, but I don't think many people have seen something like this. Um, and that one is sponsored by the Ohio Department of Natural Resources Division of Parks. Uh, the other one's going to cart everybody across on the ferry boat and then give them transportation from there. So I think it'll be a fun day.
And then you're going kayaking, which that's the one I would do. I would do the kayaking. I went kayaking last year in South Carolina. It was a lot of fun. That was
So that's the fourth field trip you're talking about, and that's sort of that's the staycation version, right? So that's the people who are on that field trip. They're not leaving the lodge. They're going to meet right there, and then
that's
they'll
what I like.
head off into the park. You can kayak or you can paddleboard if you have the guts to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Uh, and you get a tour of the park, including their new bird observatory area, which is the eagle's nest. It's literally looks like a giant eagle's nest. Uh, and a lot of folks don't know this, that area of Lake Erie is one of the one of the most popular birding spots in the entire continent.
Hmm.
And so they're really set up for that type of thing. And then the Department of Natural Resources, in this case, Division of Wildlife, I think they're bringing over their canine enforcement unit. So people on that tour get to see a demonstration of the canine dogs that work in law enforcement.
That's
Uh,
cool.
yep, yep. So I think all four of our field trips just look like a lot of fun,
Yeah.
uh, and I think people will have a good time.
I love Justin. What are you most looking forward to besides the range experience?
I mean, it's a really beautiful area. I would say what I always look forward to is the people at
Yeah.
POMA.
The
You know, it,
networking.
it can be it kind of doesn't matter where the event is all the time for everything. It's a matter of the people. So I'm just really looking forward to reconnecting with everybody. But in terms of the location, I'm looking forward to hosting that successful range experience event, and then I would say Lake Erie Arms. Like I was there, but I didn't shoot there, so it'd be really cool to shoot the like a round of sporting clays or whatever we're gonna do
Yeah, indoors.
there
That's awesome.
Mhm.
indoors, and it's like Top Golf, but for sporting clays or for ski
Yes,
or trap or whatever. So that's going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to that. But I love wildlife, and it is in a beautiful area and right on the lake. So I'm just looking forward to the whole thing, really.
Yeah. So you come in on Sunday, it goes through Wednesday,
yeah,
um, which is the 25th, and then yeah, and then you leave on Thursday. Because Wednesday night you have the awards ceremony, the dinner, another campfire hangout, which I love.
right, right. The one thing we haven't talked about yet, one of our major sponsors of the event is the Ohio Department of Natural Resources Division of Wildlife.
Hmm.
Earlier I mentioned parks, so this is a separate agency, and they're sponsoring the opening night welcome reception, which
Oh,
will be at McGee Marsh. And so McGee Marsh is one of the great birding and waterfowl areas. When I toured it the first time, Justin wasn't with me this time. I saw three bald eagles while I was there. And so, you got these boardwalks that go all the way through the marsh. And of course, you can see the lake at different places. And they've got this incredible viewing center that includes a museum of duck decoys that go way back, some of them back, decades. And they're hosting us there for our opening night reception.
Is that Sunday night or Monday night?
That's Monday night.
Monday night. Okay.
Yep.
But we're going to be going there right after the range experience. We're going to leave Camp Perry and go right to
Right to the
that event.
reception. Nice.
And
Yeah.
I think we're going to shoot a cannon at Camp Perry to end the day. So
Oh my
we're
gosh.
we're going to get a group photo by the cannon
And then
under
shoot
it,
again.
and we're going to blast the cannon off. We're going to start the annual POMA meeting with a bang, literally.
I like it. Yeah.
And many of them. But
One of the things that I really enjoyed about setting this whole thing up is this. We've got basically what I would call four major hosts. We've got Destination Toledo, we've got Shores and Islands, Ohio, and then we've got those two agencies of ODNR, the Division of Wildlife and the Division of Parks. And they've just rolled out the red carpet. They really want us there. They want to meet our members. They want to talk to outdoor media people. And then you add on Lake Erie Arms. Uh, Everybody we've spoken to has just, what can we do for you to make this a success? And so my message to our members is this: we've planned one heck of a meeting. The only thing missing right now is you. And so you need to register, because I really think this meeting is going to be special.
When does the room block end and all that jazz?
Oh gosh, good question. I can't
May
make me
9th.
dig for my information.
May
Oh,
9th.
thank you.
Night?
Yep.
And there's a reason for that. People might say, gosh, that's really early. Here's the reason for that.
Mhm.
Maumee State Lodge is the most popular lodge in the entire state of Ohio, and it's June, right? So you're dead in the middle of their
I'm
tourist
shocked that
season.
they allowed you to have this.
Yeah, yeah. So, now if you wait till after June, or rather May 9th to get a room, there might still be one there, but you're not going to be able to count on a nice conference rate, because, once they get outside the room block, that
Yeah.
people are going up there fishing and boating all the time, and that's who we're competing with. So I really encourage you, if you haven't made your reservations yet, you really ought to jump on that.
Yeah, and on top of that, media registration, the deadline is, I believe, May 23rd or something like that too. So,
Yep.
Yeah, because you guys need to count for food and
Well,
bus.
right. Well, food and buses and like tackle and all the other things that are
Yeah.
part of these different, how many golf carts you need over at Marblehead, and all that kind of business. So there's a lot of logistics that go into all this, but I'll tell you what, this is a super nice setting. I don't think anyone's going to go away unsatisfied if they make the trip.
Awesome. Well, if anyone has any questions, put them in the chat box or the Q&A. Otherwise, I think we touched on everything.
We ought to talk about getting there.
Okay.
Because that's one thing that I think I've had a number of people send me emails about getting there. So I mentioned Justin flew into Detroit. So if you're flying, the closest major airport is Detroit Airport. It's an hour and 15 minutes from Maumee State Lodge. You can fly into Cleveland if you like. I think that'd be more like an hour and 45 minutes from Maumee State Lodge. I've had people ask me about Columbus. Columbus would be more like 2.5 hours. So Detroit's really the best if you can do it. And then as far as transportation while you're there, we've mentioned a lot of trips. We'll have buses and vans and things like that that are going to get people from point A to point B throughout the conference. The one thing I would say to people is prepare to get moved around a lot, because we're not giving people a whole lot of chance to take a breath. We're going from one very cool event to the next one, like you, Monday morning, grab and go breakfast right on the bus, head over to Camp Perry, leaving there, coming to McGee Marsh for the reception, and then, back to the lodge. So every day is like that. We've really filled it full of just good content all the way around.
and to support what he just said, we're also doing something new this year that I think is going to be very helpful to everybody, and that is story sheets for like pretty much the majority of the things that we're doing. So if you come to the range experience, you will get ahead of time a story sheet of all the different things that you can touch on, whether it's vendors or the experiences or the history of Camp Perry or whatever, there's a lot to there's a lot of content opportunities, and we just want to make sure everybody has the opportunity to make the most of the experience. So
So explain a story sheet in case someone is not familiar with that concept.
yeah, so essentially, if someone goes to the conference, everybody kind of has their own objectives. It is a business conference, so we want to just make sure that people leave with business and opportunities. So if you go to any component of the event, I'll just use the range experience as an example. Uh, we want to just make sure that you go there knowing about all the different stories or topics that you could consider covering. So, and that includes the vendors who are going to be there as well. So you can see ahead of time who's going to be there. You can make a plan before you go. We own the SHOT Show. We all know planning is a huge part of any event that you go to.
Yeah.
But we just want to really make sure that we facilitate the storytelling component. Like I said, NSSF team is coming. We are going to come with a plan. We're going to make the most of it. It's the first time like the full NSSF team has come to a POMA median, and there's a reason for that. It's because this is really truly a level up. So we're looking forward to it.
Awesome.
I think it's going to be great. Michelle, a couple assurances that we should put out there too. You know, we're still doing product showcase. So some of the things that people depend on when they come there, they want to see product. Our corporate partners want to show off what they've got. We're still doing our or our product showcase. So that'll be part of it. We're still doing our awards dinner, which will be Wednesday night. And I've already seen who won, and I'm not telling yet. So Tuesday night will be our banquet and auction. That'll be a fun night. So, you know, I
And
think
I'm
what
sure
we've
you're still
done,
looking for auction donations.
still definitely looking for auction donations. If anybody wants to donate, Rob at professional outdoor
Yeah.
professional outdoor media.org. Uh, and let me know, you know, and we'll make arrangements to get whatever you've got. If you're coming, you can bring it with you, or I'll let you know where to ship it. So
Perfect.
all the way around, I think it's going to be a great event.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up. No questions were coming in. I think we really touched on everything. Appreciate you guys sharing all the great things that you put together for this conference. So yeah. This is the first time we've been in Ohio, right? I think.
We were in Indiana. I don't think we've been in Ohio.
Yeah.
I remember.
So any ideas of where we're going next year, or is it too soon?
It's not too soon. Provided everything comes together, and we think it will, we're optimistic. Springfield, Missouri is where
Oh,
we'll be in 2000.
back to the home base of where it all began.
And that's the reason for it. That's why we picked that. So Springfield, Missouri, you know, we've still got some work to do to cross the T's and dot the I's to finalize it, but that's what it looks like.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen.
All right.
Best of
Thank you.
luck.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for this POMA conference. I look forward to seeing all the great content that comes out of it. So we'll see you guys there.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.